much for the times and also the change for me. My name is Thessalonica Reyes Tamasilina Tutuilisa, and in this moment, I would like to present and also give my comment and my opinion about the second issues. And the issues is about, should the government provide financial assistance to all people who stay at home in order to slow down the spread of the COVID-19? In my opinion, yes, it should. We know that as the result of this pandemic, we all have to work, study, and also worship from home. This is certainly a very unpleasant thing, seeing that all of the things, work, studying, and also worship, is the activities that we always do in our daily life. But in order to reduce and even break the chain of the coronavirus, we must do it and stop this by stay at home, so this disaster will be passed quickly and we can get back on the move. We can go back to our activity like usual before. However, everything we do certainly has an impact in our lives, and that's what happened right now. Stay at home has a pretty big impact. If asked what kind of impact, there are positive and also negative. The positive impact is when we stay at home, it will be able to reduce the increase of the COVID-19 and also the number of the patients who have positive in this pandemic. And the negative impact is, in my opinion, the rich slowly begin poor, and those who are poor are getting poorer. When talking about rich and poor, then they start talking about finance and income. We all know that since the existence of this virus, social and also psychological distancing has been implemented in the society. Thus, everything related to the gathering, discussion, interaction involving many people must be temporarily removed. Finally, a public place, businesses, offices, educational sites, and the other things must also be closed. Even if it had to be abandoned, all of that for the sake is just for income to survive in the midst of an existing pandemic. To be honestly, I personally feel sorry and concerned to see the people around me who have struggling and work hard in order to meet the needs of food, drink, and also use during the time of this COVID-19 pandemic. As a sample, my father worked as a motorcycle driver. We know that it is not only a business and market economies that have been affected by this pandemic. All occupations were exposed. For example, my father usually work from morning until the noon, about 12 in the afternoon. Before the existence of the pandemic of coronavirus, he usually gets a maximum of 50,000 rupees per day. But since the existence of this pandemic, and the community must stay at home, of course, from morning until the afternoon, he only get 5,000 until 15,000 rupees per day. Even then, it's from the customers who ask to be escorted to the shop at the market. In fact, for almost a week now, he could not get any passenger at all, which means there's nothing to get, no income. Finally, for the past week, we have only relied on my mother's remaining savings. Honestly, my parents found it difficult to manage the remaining money while waiting, and hope the government might intervene and overcome this problem. It wasn't just in our family. A few days ago, one of our neighbor, age 60 or 70, came to my house attending to meet my mother. He does not work because he lives with his son and also a son-in-law. His son works selling fast food, while his son-in-law is a pedicab driver. Because the sale did not selling at all, the child stopped selling while the husband did not get any passenger at all, and finally decided to stay at home. He came to my house intending to borrow 50,000 rupees from my mother just to eat because they had no money at all. But unfortunately that day, my mother cannot help him because my mother didn't have any money at all. Saying like that. That's really honestly. This is certainly very sad, right? Everyone is struggling to get a piece of money to eat. There are some people who might say something like this: just pray. But in my opinion, let me say something. Sometimes praying cannot solve problem without action. But many people try to take action because they think to pray and trying will produce a result for them. But due to the existing situation, the action taken actually did not working or even did not produce anything, but instead added the number of the positive patients because the community tried to survive out of the home. So what we can do as the pandemic affected community, we can only wait. What we are waiting for? The government assistance, especially in financial. The Maluku government not implemented PSBB or the large-scale social restriction. However, the impact of the COVID-19 has had a huge impact on people, especially people with low economies. We know that those who get help from the government are areas that are already registered as red zones and which have indeed set as PSBB. But some regions in Maluku have already been affected by the pandemic first. In my opinion, if in that the government makes a decision so that people live at home, the government should be able to help people whose income is in that per day, or they work is work that requires them to leave the house but are forced to stay at home because there is no income, and also because they obey to the government. The government must help them. I don't know in what way or where the government can help the public finance, but one thing certain, the community is also human, and the community also needs to be helped. The community is the responsibility of the government because the people have obeyed the government. Don't let people struggling in economic and financial. They die not because of the coronavirus pandemic, but because they don't have money to buy food. And finally, they die because they don't eat and drink anything. So, in my opinion, the government should provide financial assistance to the community so that they don't have to leave the house. They just stay at home like that. This will certainly help to break the chain of the COVID-19 or the coronavirus in Indonesia. Maybe that's it from me. Thank you so much.